Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the laundry room. That's right, this is Pillar to Post, and I am your host, Pete Wall. Now, tonight was Smackdown. It is May 9th, 2017, and we are just 2 weeks away, not even quite 2 weeks away, from Backlash. That is the Smackdown exclusive pay-per-view for this month. But before we're going to get into tonight's action, we're going to discuss a little something. Today, Audible is officially sponsoring Pillar to Post. And that is on VidMe as well as YouTube.com. And I want to give a huge thanks to Audible for doing this. And you might ask, what does this benefit you? Why bother announcing it? Well, there's two reasons. For one, it's a big deal to me. It's my first sponsor. I love it. And it doesn't just help me. It helps you guys as well. So this is what you get if you want to take that opportunity. So today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/pillar to post. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, for you, the listeners of Pillar to Post podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their services. Now, me, personally, I am a fantasy fiction reader. I love fantasy fiction, so I'd go for things like The Hobbit or Anne McCaffrey, Dragon Riders of Pern, stuff like that. But they have tons and tons of wrestling audiobooks. AJ Lee just released her new book, Crazy is My Superpower. Check that out. There is so much more. Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, you name it, they've got it. So check that out. And like I said, all you need to do is visit www.audibletrial.com/pillar to post. I will have that link below in the description, so it will be easy to for you to find. But yes, Audible is sponsoring Pillar to Post. I love it. Now, I encourage you to test it out. Check it out. Give it a try. You get 30 days free to try out Audible. And when you order your free copy, and if you do decide to cancel your subscription right afterwards, it's fine. You get to keep your copy. There is no, they're not going to take it back from you. It is free to you, even if you leave right away. But I recommend that you give them that 30 days to test it out. And, it's free. So you got 30 days in Audible to test out their stuff. And if you enjoy their product, keep on using it. Or, like I said, you have that option. You can unsubscribe and you will keep your free audio book. But if you're into wrestling books, they have it. If you are into fantasy fiction, they have it. By the way, my book, Dragon's Kin, I will be recording the audio version of it very shortly, and it will be going to audible.com. I have big hopes in that. So, like I said, sci-fi, fantasy, they have it. You want it, check it out. Now, moving on. Tonight, what were my thoughts on tonight's SmackDown? This is my review of it. I had a hell of a time staying awake through the whole fucking episode till the last match. The last match, and at first it pissed me off. It really did. It pissed me off. They've got 2 weeks before Backlash. And what do? They go and grab all their top guys that are going to be in that pay-per-view and throw them all in together in a 6-man tag. Now, at first, like I said, it pissed me off. I was upset because I figured they'd build a little bit better. And although for, feud's sake, it did and yet it didn't. It was a little bit of both. But it was a good match. They showed the hatred between each other. They showed the animosity that's been growing between these guys. And every guy had high spots in the match. So that was a good thing. It kept me awake, which the rest of the show absolutely did nothing for me. And I could end the show right there, because that's how little I thought of like 3/4 of the show. It was garbage. Completely garbage. And here I was hoping, okay, we're going up into Backlash in 15 days, and we should get some good SmackDown television. Instead, we got 3/4 of 2 hours of bullshit and 1/2 hour of a good match. You cannot build an entire 2 hours of wrestling on one match. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense to do it. It fucking pisses me off. And I can't figure it out. I really can't. You know what your fans want. They're tired of this entertainment bullshit that you're pushing the last how many years? We want to see an actual wrestling show. Why do you think NXT is doing so fucking well? NXT is the top show in WWE right now. Why? Because they're concentrating on wrestling. They have 1 hour and they give you a fucking good time. You see wrestling. You see a couple of promos in between, but I'm saying for the most part, you have a wrestling show. And that's what I was hoping SmackDown would be. What did we see tonight? We seen the Breezango, the Fashion Fuzz. They finally had a match tonight. Very short. And then the Usos come out, and they're supposed to be the top heel tag team. Well, I'm going to say this. You might as well get your fucking face paint back on. If you want to be clowns, then throw your face paint back on. Come out fucking with balloons. And spread your fucking, rainbows and sunshines to the fans. Because that's what you act like tonight. You act like a couple of fucking clowns. When I see a heel team, I think of guys like Barbarian and Warlord, Demolition, the Hart Foundation at their best, Legion of Doom when they were heel. I think of guys like that. I think of guys like Mr. Perfect and Ravishing Rick Rude teaming up. I don't see guys acting like clowns as heel. You want to be a clown? Consider yourself a face. Throw your face paint back on. Start warming up to the little kids in the audience again. Because what you served us tonight was a whole pile of bullshit. Like I said, besides the main event, that was the best thing going. We seen women's match, Becky Lynch versus Natalya. And we had everyone out there. We have the group that they're calling the Welcoming Committee, which is a complete bullshit name. Natalya, Tamina Snuka, Carmella, and that fucking no-chin motherfucking idiot. Why do they keep on handing James Ellsworth the microphone? He can't fucking talk. He doesn't wrestle. Why the fuck is he in the business? You're going to tell me that he's Carmella's arm candy? This face is better looking than that fucking retard's. And this face is a face that belongs on fucking radio. So, make sense of it for me. What did you think of SmackDown tonight in the comments? Tell me. Because, seriously, I thought it was complete garbage, except for the last half hour. That was it. And like I said, I could end this now. I could end the podcast now. But what would be the point? It doesn't do me any good. So, let's move on. We were at the O2 Arena again in London, England. And we go right to the ring with WWE Champion Randy Orton. Now, he got somewhat of a pop. Just another boring promo that he cut, and kind of a repeat of bullshit that he's already said. It's the same old, but I will go into it. Now, Orton says he didn't lose House of Horrors because of Bray Wyatt or that damned fridge. He lost because of Jinder Mahal. Orton talks about Backlash until the music hits, and out comes Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers. Now, Jinder talks about how he stole the title belt, which Orton has back now, and shows us photos from his recent photo shoot with the title. Now, Jinder says he will defeat Orton for the title at Backlash and bring it back to his people. The great nation of India will create a statue to pay respect to him. Jinder says the people will no longer disrespect his homeland or him. A "you suck" chant starts, of course, because he's playing the racial card, which I fucking can't stand. Jinder says he will cleanse our ignorance with his greatness. Jinder says a new age will begin at Backlash, the age of the Maharaja. Jinder goes to speak in Punjab, but Kevin Owens' music hits, and out comes the WWE United States Champion. Now, before I move on, a company that prides itself on supporting anti-hate, anti-bullying campaigns, anti-whatever. They're going to play the racial card. Yes, I've spoken about this before, and it pisses me off. Every time I hear Jinder, I forgot my juice at home, Mahal come into the ring and cut a promo, and he cuts the racial fucking promo. It pisses me off. I don't understand it, really. They couldn't come up with a better gimmick than the race card. He comes out wearing a dress, of nice fancy suit. Looks like high dollar quality. He's got the Singh boys behind him, dressed to the nines. They look like fucking elves, but they look like an entourage. So they could play another role about how he's better than his own people. Let him win the title, drop the racial card, and start cutting a promo about how you are better than not just, America, but your own people. Make it about you, not about fucking race, not about fucking browns and whites. I fucking hate it. Okay? There's no need. In 2017, there is no need to be playing this card anymore in the wrestling business. It's not needed. It just stirs bullshit. And I'm a guy that is sick to death of bullshit. And frankly, that's all this was. Is a big pile of steaming fucking bullshit. I wanna see a pile of steaming bullshit. I'll take a walk out to the farm and, walk in the corral of fucking cattle or horses or whatever. Maybe take my chances with the bull, run horn to horn with him. But Jesus Christ, this has got to end in the WWE. Now, Owens knocks Jinder, Orton, and England. He says the only thing anyone should care about is the new face of America. Kevin Owens says he didn't just regain the title last week. He ended Chris Jericho's career. Only for a couple of months. He's touring with Fozzy, people. Don't take him seriously. Fans boo, of course. And Owens goes on and says he has plans on ending another career at Backlash. AJ Styles. Once he's done, Owens won't just be the U.S. champion or the face of America. Owens says once he's done, he's coming for the WWE title next, because the next thing on his list is becoming the face of the WWE. Doesn't everyone want to be the face of the WWE these days? We got John Cena. He says he's the face. AJ Styles is the face. Kevin Owens is the face. Randy Orton, surprisingly, isn't the face, but then he's a boring cocksucker, so who gives a shit? Now, Owens is on the apron now as Orton watches from the middle of the ring. Jinder is still standing on the steel steps. Owens repeats what he just said in French because he can. And fans boo once again, of course, because they heard French. The music hits and out comes AJ Styles to interrupt him. So AJ addresses Owens and reminds everyone that he is the face of SmackDown. This is the house AJ Styles built. AJ says Owens can keep bragging about what he did to Jericho, but with all due respect, Jericho is no AJ Styles and neither is Owens. AJ goes on until the music hits and out comes Baron Corbin to interrupt. Corbin starts talking and walking down the ramp, but out of nowhere, Sami Zayn appears and attacks. Sami brings it to the ring and Jinder goes to attack Orton. Orton grabs him for a second rope draping DDT, but the Singh brothers pull him to safety. Owens, Jinder, and Corbin and the Singh brothers stand on the floor as Orton, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn look on from the ring. And that leads to our main event of the night, and that is the 6-man tag, which pissed me off, like I said at the beginning. But the match worked. Everyone that needed to build heat, built that heat. Everyone that needed to, kind of make a comeback, they made that comeback. It told a story of its own, but I would have rather seen the storylines build individually. That is what it's needed, because this is not a 6-man tag going to Backlash. These are 3 men facing each other in singles competition. So I'm hoping for a hell of a lot better show next week, because we need some big build going into this pay-per-view. Now we get told, still to come, Dolph Ziggler will confront Shinsuke Nakamura. Also, Natalya versus Becky Lynch. And we take that to commercial break. Now back from commercial break, like I said, it is announced that the 6-man tag team match will be the main event of the night. And up next is Natalya versus Becky Lynch. My opinion's very short match. I love Becky Lynch to death. I love Natalya. They work well together. Natalya is, I think, one of the best women in the wrestling business, but her promos are cringe. And because she doesn't wrestle the way she can, her wrestling is most of the time pretty damn cringe. She plays a good heel, but I don't know what the fuck is with her making her hair look like she's got kitten ears. Leave it the fuck at home. We all know you love your cats, but leave it the fuck at home. Now, James Ellsworth is in the ring with a mic, and I'm just looking on and saying, God damn it. Can't you just fucking, for once, just don't touch the mic, man. Don't touch it. You're like a little child. You need a slap. Just every now and then, just give you a fucking smack. And maybe, just maybe, you listen and leave the fucking microphone alone. Because you are the worst person on the microphone I have ever fucking heard. Besides Charlotte Flair, the fucking robot talking guy with boobs. If you didn't see her nudes, I did, and it was freaky. Like I said, James Ellsworth is in the ring with the mic. Carmella and Tamina Snuka are also in the ring alongside him. Ellsworth knocks the UK fans before Carmella takes over. Carmella introduces Natalya, and out she comes, like the kitten fucking eared weirdo that we've come to know and sometimes love. Now, SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi makes her way out next, and Naomi tells London to make some bloody noise. She says they are about to turn the arena into a straight lituation. That was the word she used. Straight lituation. Made up word. I guess it worked. She got a pop. Naomi introduces Becky Lynch, and out comes another pop. And Charlotte Flair makes her way out, and she tells everyone she doesn't need an introduction. Why doesn't she need an introduction? Because then the world would not be able to hear how robotic you sound, because you don't know how to read a script properly, and you stumble and pause while you're talking. It is fucking cringe. Cut it the fuck out. We go to commercial break, and when we come back, they end up on. The match is already in progress when we come back, and they're on the floor. Natalya turns it around. She brings it back into the ring and keeps Becky grounded as Carmella cheers her on. Now, Becky fights up and out, and Becky strikes and follows it up with a clothesline. Becky follows that up with another drop kick. And, there's a lot more offense. We get the Becksploder, which she calls it. It is an exploder suplex, but she has dubbed it the Becksploder. Fucking hard to say. Becksploder suplex. Natalya fights off a pin attempt and takes it to the corner. Now, Becky turns it around, but Tamina tries to distract her. Naomi nails her. Charlotte grabs, for whatever reason, grabs Naomi around the waist, pulls her back. It caused enough distraction that Natalya turns the tables, and she rolls up Becky Lynch and gets the 1, 2, 3. And your winner is Natalya in a very short match that didn't mean anything. Honestly, didn't mean anything. We get told that another edition of the Fashion Files is coming up. And Charlotte, we had a commercial break and we come back. Charlotte is backstage arguing with Naomi about why Becky lost. Becky walks up and gets in between both of them. Naomi threatens Charlotte, and Charlotte disses her, asks her if she's going to put the glow on her. I thought it was funny. At least she didn't sound cringe at that moment. Becky says they don't stand a chance against the welcoming committee as long as they are fighting with each other. Well, of course, you dumbass. Sometimes I think you're not a redhead, you're a fucking blonde. Becky appears to have everyone on the same page by the end of the segment because they are going to bond better than the welcoming committee has bonded with each other. Made no sense. She's Irish. It might be that, it just might be that part of her that made it sound so stupid. But a shitty segment wasn't needed because, we're going to bond. We're going to bond better than anyone has ever bonded before. Trust me. Fucking assholes. The announcers lead us to another edition of the Fashion Files with number one contenders Tyler Breeze and Fandango. They're dressed up like the United Kingdom police officers and Sherlock Holmes. Total waste of time. I would have rather had seen something better, like them actually, in a longer match than what they had tonight. Maybe, instead of calling the Usos Uggos, actually shooting a proper promo and hyping your match up for Backlash, because this did nothing. They showed paint on the floor. They're walking through the corridors of the arena, and there's some grunting and screaming and whatever the fuck it was in a locked room. Tyler Breeze tries to kick it open, doesn't budge, so he goes and checks the handle of the door. It's not even fucking locked. No. He opens the door, and there is the Ascension. Doing God knows what, because they're grunting and groaning and screaming like somebody's getting raped. One of them had chains wrapped around him, so, whatever they're into, I'm not into, but it is acceptable in some, dark corners of the arenas. You guys have your fun, but I don't want to be a part of it, and I really don't want to see it. Really. After this, we get the Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan match. Two former friends and a former tag team, also former tag team champions. They don't know what to do with these guys, so now they have thrown them against each other. And like I've said for weeks now, if you don't have plans for these guys, come up with a storyline where they join forces back up, they find equal ground, and drop the whole Wyatt angle and bring them back into the tag team rankings and actually use them. You don't have a tag team division worth pissing on. So bring these guys back into the tag team division and let them rule the roost like they should. Because these guys are two big, tough motherfuckers that you know could legit hold those titles for a long, long fucking time. And you've got the Alpha, American Alpha, a legit team with a shitload of experience that actually look credible as champions. What do? They're not on TV. Not on TV, not even spoken of. What's the point of acquiring all this talent? And I keep on getting told that right now, in 2017, WWE has the best talent you can find in the wrestling business. And yet they don't even use half of the motherfuckers on their roster. Piss poor creative, piss poor management, and frankly, Vincent, you either need to retire or, sorry to say, you need to maybe, get put in a mental asylum. Just saying. So we go down to the ring, and out comes Luke Harper as, he's introduced, and we get Eric Rowan come out. They go at it at the start a bit. Rowan, I should say, takes control. Rowan with offense for a few minutes. And Rowan looks good. He does. Both these guys look phenomenal. They might not dress like every other superstar. One's wearing black overalls or coveralls that you'd see on a mechanic. The other one's wearing a wife beater with dirty jeans. But they look good and convincing as a tag team. Even singles competitors, these guys, only if they had some creative push behind them, they would be something. But no. It was a back and forth competitive match. I'm not going to read into everything because it was another pretty short match. I'm going to go to the end. Harper misses the big clothesline, his finisher, but keeps control and catches Rowan in a tilt-a-whirl slam. Gets a 2 count. Harper goes for a powerbomb, but Rowan gets out. Rowan with a sit-down side slam for another 2 count. Rowan shows frustration now. He goes back to the sheet mask for guidance. Rowan looks like he's about to use the mask on Harper, but the referee takes it from him. Rowan takes advantage of the referee being distracted and puts thumbs to Harper's eyes. Rowan hits a new spinning power slam finisher for the win. Your winner is Eric Rowan. Like I said, it was a very short match. I took my notes. I could have read more, but it wasn't a point because although it was a short match, these guys look good when they're facing each other. It's just, it didn't mean anything. Nothing. Meant nothing to either of these guys. Is it going to raise them or elevate them in the rankings? No. Not going to do any of the sort. If they get a chance to fight a singles champion, they're going to lose. Because they're not thought of as champions because they don't have the look. They're big, hairy, motherfucker, mountain men looking bastards. Kind of like I am. So, obviously, they don't have the look to be the face of SmackDown or the company itself. Now, after the match, Rowan stands tall as we go to replays. And Rowan shows off his mask in the corner to celebrate. Dolph Ziggler is shown walking backstage as we come back from commercial. And he goes down to ringside with a mic. And frankly, I'm tired of these little promos that they're doing with Ziggler and Nakamura. For one, you got 2 talented motherfuckers in that ring. You've got Dolph Ziggler, who can sell amazingly. He's got the talent to be one of the main eventers in the company, and yet he's always relegated to being a jobber because he makes it look so damn good and convincing. So they have relegated him to that person, that wrestler that puts everyone over. Very much like Mr. Perfect was done in back in the day. They are thought of as those guys that can put anyone over, so that's what their job is. Yes, he's been a former champion, multi-time Intercontinental champion, and yet he is thought of as nothing in the eyes of creative. And then Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura. This guy, the talent that comes out of this guy is unbelievable. His wrestling style is unique. He can't talk worth shit. He can't cut a promo worth shit. You can barely understand what he says most of the time, but he always gets a big pop. His entrance is loved by everyone. His matches are hits, instant hits. And they turn around and make it sound like he's some fucking Prince reject by calling him the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. Give me a break, okay? You just lowered his value in people's eyes. Get him off that fucking shit and just let him be Shinsuke Nakamura. He doesn't need that added bullshit, okay? Let him be Shinsuke and that's it. So Ziggler says the fans are all hypocrites. He talks about what he's done for the past 8 years, but says no one appreciates him. They treat him like a contagious disease. But who do you cheer for? The Nakamura chants instantly pipe up, and Ziggler says they cheer for someone who hasn't even had a match on SmackDown. No, but they've been fighting constantly in dark matches or after the show goes off air. So fans start chanting for WWE NXT next. Ziggler says that will all be edited out. No, it was not. Ziggler goes on ranting to the fans, but the Nakamura chants start up once again. Ziggler says no one cared then, but they damn sure will now. Ziggler calls out Shinsuke Nakamura to the ring, and out he comes to a huge ovation and pop. I do like his entrance music. It suits him perfectly. He calls himself the King of Strong Style, and his music just fits him to a T. So Nakamura hits the ring, and fans chant his name. Ziggler doesn't have time for tricks tonight. Ziggler says Nakamura has been cruising out to the ring for weeks now, but it's time to put up or shh. And Nakamura grabs the mic and tells Ziggler to shut up. He finished Ziggler's sentence and turned it around on him. If Ziggler wants to see what he can do, he will show him tonight. A referee enters the ring and they both get ready for a fight. Ziggler stops and says this will happen when he wants it to. He goes on to say he will expose Nakamura at Backlash later this month. Ziggler ends up nailing Nakamura with a cheap shot and goes to work on Nakamura. Nakamura does eventually get the upper hand and sends Ziggler to the floor. They face off as Nakamura's music plays us out. Now up next we got Sami Zayn backstage with his partners, and he seems a little excited, which he always does. This guy's mouth runs a mile a minute, man. Fuck. Randy Orton and AJ Styles look at him like he's crazy as he talks about strategy for the main event. Sami closes his eyes and imagines their names being announced as the winners. He opens his eyes and he's all alone now. And we go to a commercial break. We come back to another vignette of the New Days, and we are told they are coming soon. And does anybody care? Well, not really. But the tag team division does need that extra push, so, we kind of need to take it. Up next, we get the Ascension versus Breezango. You'd think they would have already dropped the Breezango name. Okay, you got Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Why is it needed to join these guys' names anymore? Everyone is calling them the Fashion Police. Why not just let them be the Fashion Police? They both come off as... those type of guys that like fancy clothes and, tight-fitting pants and shit. Let them be the Fashion Police. So we go to the ring and the Ascension are out. The number one contenders, Tyler Breeze and Fandango, are out next. Fans sing along with Fandango's theme, which I don't care for. Connor starts off with Fandango and ends up getting... the upper hand early on with an assist from Victor. Connor drops an elbow for a 1 count. Victor comes in and keeps up the attack for another pin attempt. Victor keeps Fandango grounded for now. Breeze eventually gets tagged in and unloads on Victor. He hits a supermodel kick, which is basically a super kick, but gets turned around in the corner. Victor mounts him and with some strikes as fans count along. Fandango tags in and makes the save. Fandango goes to the top and hits the last dance on Victor for the win. Your winners, Breezango. Yes, it was if you don't know what the last dance is, it is a leg drop off the top rope. Very reminiscent of what Matt Hardy used to do. Now after the match, Breezango celebrates until SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, come down to the stage with mics. They are not going to rush the ring tonight, but they are going to taunt Breezango in a very unique way about what will happen to them in 12 days at Backlash. Breezango just looks on from the ramp while the Usos count or rant. They use this whole in 12 days bit. In 12 days, this is going to happen. In 12 days, that's going to happen. And it got to the point where these supposed heels could not even stay serious and started laughing at themselves because they were more of a joke and acting more of like clowns than as heels. To me, you guys made yourselves look like chumps. That's all I'm saying. Now, back from the break, we got Brian Kendrick cuts a backstage promo to hype up tonight's 205 Live match, which I am not watching. I don't care for it. And we had a Mojo Rawley little thing talking to little kids. Tell them stories about Andre the Giant. And he shows off the Memorial Battle Royal Trophy and gets kicked in the shin and says, let's continue on with the tour, children. We see the Twitter video from Rusev that he reported on earlier. He hasn't heard from Shane McMahon since making his WWE title shot demand a few weeks ago. And he doesn't like being ignored. Rusev is coming to SmackDown next week to get an answer. And my only thought is, okay, I thought you said if you weren't going to get an answer, you're going back to Bulgaria. Please, go back to Bulgaria because, frankly, I'm sick and tired of everyone coming in to a brand you have not wrestled for and demanding title shots, and then they're receiving them without having to earn them. You know, Jinder Mahal did it. Charlotte Flair did it. I'm sick of it. It doesn't need to be done that way. It doesn't make them credible number one contenders. And you know, you guys can say, I'm taking shit too seriously because it's fake wrestling. I know it's fake. Okay? But if you're going to tell a story, if you're going to run a company that is supposed to entertain people, you got to make sure it makes fucking sense. There's got to be some kind of rules and guidelines to everything. They got to have stories that actually match the characters and push the story along, so that way by the time you get up to the pay-per-view, your fans are hyped for it and they want to see what's going to happen. At this point, we got a pretty good damn idea what's going to happen. And as Payback is you know, a good example, I had 3/4 of the pay-per-view predicted dead on. So, you know, if you're going to be that goddamn predictable, you got to start going back to the old days, you know, the old school ways, and book the shows like it used to be done, because at least it made sense back then. And I'm not just talking about the Attitude Era. I'm talking about before the Attitude Era. You know, I could go on and on about how, you know, I could actually put videos on of older matches, and I guarantee you'd make more sense of those matches. And they don't stop and pander and antagonize the fans to get over as a heel or as a babyface. They show you in the match. They tell that story while they're fighting in the match. They give you a reason why to hate the heel team, why you need to cheer for the good guys in order for this story to progress. They knew how to do it back in the day. Do they know how to do that today? Absolutely fucking not. Garbage. Up next is the main event. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn will be facing Jinder. Oops, I forgot my juice in the locker room. Mahal, with the Singh brothers following them on, and the WWE United States Champion Kevin Owens is out next, followed by Baron Corbin, and we go straight to a commercial break. Come back and the fans chant for Styles as he starts off with Corbin. We get a back and forth contest until Sami gets the tag. Jinder tags in for his team as fans do the Olay chant. They go all at it. Sami sends Jinder flying with head scissors, and Orton wants the tag, and he gets it. Jinder tags Owens very quickly to get his ass out of harm's way, and Owens talks trash to Orton. Orton unloads and goes for the RKO, but Owens avoids it and retreats under the bottom rope and to the floor for safety. Owens yells at some of the fans, and we go to commercial. He just yells at them, calls them idiots, and tells them to shut up. Back from the break, AJ is going at it with Corbin again. Jinder tags in as fans chant for AJ. AJ nails a drop kick. Sami tags in, but Jinder takes him to the corner, and Owens tags in quickly. Owens beats Sami down, but Sami fights back. Sami mounts Owens in the corner and rocks him with a fan's 10 count, punches to the forehead. Sami runs up to the ropes, but Owens crotches him. Got crotch right on the top rope. Looked like it hurt. My balls hurt a little bit from it. Now Owens stomps away on Sami Zayn, and Corbin tags in and sends Sami to the floor. Jinder follows that up with a cheap shot and another. AJ and Orton come over to watch things, make sure that the shenanigans end, and Corbin brings Sami back into the ring for a 2 count. A lot of back and forth. Like I said, best match of the night. Now, although I wasn't a fan of it at first being a 6-man tag, they did everything in this match they needed to do that showed why they were going to be facing each other at Backlash. Now, I'm going to stop going through everything because I do have other things I need to do. But I'm going to finish it off with Orton finally gets the hot tag just as Jinder comes in. Orton unloads his power slam on all 3 of the opponents, and Corbin runs in, but he also eats another power slam. Orton with the draping DDT on Owens. Orton readies for the RKO to Mahal, but the Singh brothers hit the apron. Orton turns back around to a shot from Jinder. Sami hits the Blue Thunder Bomb on Jinder, and Corbin with a choke slam backbreaker to Sami Zayn. Styles hits him with the Pele kick, and Owens sends AJ out to the floor. Orton hits with the RKO to Owens, and Jinder comes up from behind and hits the Cobra Clutch Slam on Orton for the win. And your winners of the match are Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, and Baron Corbin. Now after the bell, the number 1 contender to the WWE title stands over Orton with the Singh brothers as his music plays out. They all leave and hit the ramp, and everybody says goodnight because that was the end of Raw. There was a lot of mouthing off on Jinder Mahal's part during their exit up the ramp, but other than that, that was it for the night. Now, there's no way as a podcaster you can make any match sound good while you are taking notes and telling listeners what happened in that match. It's hard to do. There's way too much stuff that went on in that match. Now, it did start off a little bit slow, but it quickly gained pace. The heels looked the part. They acted the part. They did their thing like they were supposed to. The faces the same way. It made sense. I would have rather have seen the storylines progress individually like they should be. But we've got one more week. Next week, Tuesday, we hopefully get a kick-ass go-home show for the pay-per-view, which is Backlash. But that was it for tonight. Remember, if you stuck it out through the end of the show, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, And remember, you can find me on VidMe as well as YouTube. And, you know, keep on helping make this channel grow. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Doesn't matter who it is. If they enjoy wrestling, please send them over. Also, one last kick for Audible. I want to say thank you. That link will be in the description below. Make sure you take advantage of it, because it doesn't just help me. It helps you too. It helps Audible. Let's help each other out and, you know, help each other grow. That's all we can ask for. And it's a great deal. You get a free audiobook and you have a month free to try their services. So make sure you do that. This is Pete Wall saying good night. And I will see you tomorrow for NXT. But I might also see you before that. And I am out of here because I got shit that needs to be done. Take it easy, all folks. Great having you.